acts of human trafficking. It's a record 288 people arrested.
They're not reporting the real numbers.
The numbers are segmented and they are fictitious.
I started my career in 1997 in the United States Border Patrol. It was one of the most violent times in recent Border Patrol history. I made my bones and my reputation on that border. I believe what is happening on the border today is intentional.
We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them.
Our own government is facilitating the absolute destruction of the American immigration system, and I can prove it point by point. I'm unafraid to speak the truth. This is just data-driven and experience-driven.
Every reporter at the Washington Post, you're all deeply racist against Muslims, and you have gotten this country to hate us. It's totally your fault. And you've gotten the country to believe that 1.6 billion Muslims are America's enemies, that we're the violent savages. You're sick. You're disgusting. I can't stand it anymore.
American society and disappear. We want to go into American society with Islamic ideals and revamp their thinking. We want to revamp them. We want to turn them into Muslim individuals. We shouldn't have feelings of a distaste for them or intolerance because they're potential Muslim. Education is one of the most important areas that Muslims have to address. And while our objective, our final objective, is not just to become part of the system that we experience now and that we see, our objective, our final objective, is to create our own Islamic systems, and not only create Islamic systems for Muslims, but to look at all the other people who are sharing this country with us as potential Muslims. And in that long-range process of making America Muslim, all of America Muslim.
قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد What the fuck is this?
Welcome to Truth with JJ Carroll. That last video, isn't it? Can you imagine living in Iran and having to walk around wearing that type of clothes for the women, the men wearing whatever the heck that's called? Wouldn't that be horrible to live like that in Iran? Well, that was New York City. You may not like me, you may not like my takes, but you cannot on any level say we do not have an Islamification problem in America. Just don't. Do I need to conjure up some kind of image of what America will look like if we continue down this path? No, actually, I can look at France. France has fallen. No one wants to document or talk about it. Sweden has fallen. The Netherlands, Germany, the UK is gone. It's gone. Let me try to put this into context so you have an understanding of how bad UK is. People are rightfully so very, very concerned that a socialist, Muslim, Islamic, jihadist type person just won the Democrat primary in New York City, or whatever their jungle voting system is. It's going to be Eric Adams versus this guy, Mamdidi, I think is how you say his name. And we're nervous. We're like, holy cow, one of our cities is going to have a Muslim mayor that's a pronounced socialist, and he's going to do everything like make Bernie Sanders look like the greatest capitalist you've ever seen in America. Compare that to the UK. UK's top 10 cities, to include London, have Muslim mayors. We're worried about one city, rightfully so, and UK, who's smaller than us, has 10 of the top cities have mayors that are Muslim. It's over. It's absolutely over. Ireland's fighting for her life right now. 94% of all births last year in Ireland. Let me repeat that. 94% of all new births were to foreign nationals, majority Muslim, in Irish, Catholic, and Protestant Ireland. And you don't see a problem in America? New Jersey, Philadelphia, New York City, LA, Texas, Cincinnati. It's going to happen. What is it that's going to happen? We are going to see a massive takeover of our Christian nation to Muslims. That's not hyperbole. That's just simple math. When you understand that we have tens of millions of illegal aliens from third world hellholes in Africa and the Middle East, and they're reproducing at a 5 times the rate of U.S. citizens, then you'll begin to understand. Let's go back to Europe for a second. The UK, the Muslim women are having up to 8 children. Let me repeat that. I come from a big Catholic family. I'm the oldest of 6. Those days are almost non-existent in America, or they are non-existent in America, with outliers. The UK Muslims are growing exponentially because they're having 8 children to the white population in UK, which is not even at the replacement level. Do the math. I try to tell people all the time, you don't like the racial aspect, the religious, the ethnic aspect, you feel uncomfortable talking about that. I get it, because you're weak, you're mentally soft, you don't have really great critical thinking skills, and you're fearful of losing your X account. I understand. Then just talk about numbers. Just numbers. This is a math problem. Math isn't racist. Math doesn't care about your ethnicity. It's really very this plus this, or this times this divided by this with this integral part added to it gives you this answer. What if I told you, if I took us back in a time machine and I said, and my audience, just watch me. We're going to go live, but I'm going to go back in time to September 12th in New York City. And everyone knows that purportedly Muslims flew planes into the World Trade Center, and then a very hot wind destroyed Building 7. Okay, so let's just believe this actually happened the way that we're told it happens. And you're watching me as I'm interviewing New Yorkers that still have soot all over them. World Trade Centers they're gone. And I'm interviewing people, and after I find out that you're doing okay, you're alive, we're gonna get to you, they're still crying. And I would tell them, I don't want to alarm you, but less than 25 years from today, New Yorkers are going to vote in potentially your first Muslim, socialist, Middle East sympathizer as your mayor. Knowing New Yorkers as I do, they probably would try to attack me, saying you're inciting violence. No, this is the truth. Here's some audio and video. They would never believe me. If I showed them those videos of Muslims praying downtown New York City, taking over Central Park, if I showed them that, they would think that this is Hollywood. You made this up. That's how bizarre this is. This is how insane we have become in America. Do you know after 9/11 and after all the wars, do you know what our response was after 9/11? Wasn't close the borders, wasn't put visa denial, visa entry of certain Middle Eastern countries that hate us. No, our response was, let's show the world that we're not Islamophobic, and let's bring in more Muslims. You may call me whatever you want. I'm so beyond caring. I haven't cared in decades, but I'm so beyond even the pretense that I give a crap about what people think of me. If you can't look at what's happening to America today and have a serious problem, then you are either part of the mental illness and there's no helping you, or you're one of the people that are trying to destroy America. Our nation is being balkanized right in front of us. It is absolutely balkanized. I'll give you a great example. Where I used to live in San Diego, there are white communities, there are Hispanic communities, there are Chaldeans communities, Asian communities, very small Black community in San Diego, a larger one in LA, of course. But there are invisible walls, if you will, created in San Diego. Let's get away from the coast. Let's go to where I live in Kansas City, Kansas. There is a demonstrative wall of Black Americans and white Americans. You go to Kansas City, Missouri, on the Missouri side, it's old, it's decrepit, it is violent, the 8th most violent city in America, majority Black, no tax base. Our nation is balkanized. Where I live, south of Kansas City, I would say if you didn't have the H-2B, the H-1B visa Indian nationals, we would be 99% white. It's just Kansas. We're balkanized. Absolutely balkanized as Americans. And how can we not be balkanized? How can we not be separate? You've allowed in 50 million illegal aliens. We have multiple languages being spoken in America. We have multiple religions. We have no societal norms. We have no cultural norms that are tying us. The great Pat Buchanan said it over and over again in interviews and writings and in his books. You cannot be a country with multiple languages, multiple cultures, multiple religions that are diabolically opposed to each other. And when I'm saying this out loud, I know people are going, oh, God, please, JJ, don't talk about race. Please don't talk about religion. Please can we just talk about, I don't know, the desperate housewives of the Congo? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you exactly what the hell is happening in America. And if you don't like it, guess what? There are some really lunatic white Karens that you can listen to on MSNBC. You want to hear some soft core political porn, then go to Fox News. But if you want to hear the truth, then I'm just going to tell you the truth. And I have stated this over and over again, and I'm not going to bend a knee, that the only way out of this is just to be blunt, almost harsh in the way that you speak. You have to speak boldly, but you have to speak directly at the problem. The days in the 1990s, early 2000s of the political correct, I want to dance around, hey, don't say anything about less than 2% of America's population commits 50+% of the murders. Shh, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything about the newest immigrants from Mexico and Latin America, that they are the first immigrants to regress. The next generation is worse than the first generation of literacy, English speaking, the ability to earn wages, quality of life, cost of living, everything's declined. Don't say anything. Don't say anything, JJ, that there are Mexican flags ad nauseum being waved with pride, walking on the street or in the houses in Southern California. Don't say anything, just ignore it, and it'll go away. Ignore the open borders that 185 nations cross the border out of 195 nations on planet Earth. Don't say anything. Don't say anything, JJ, that the 87 to 88% of the population that was white 25, 30 years ago is now at 60%. Don't say anything. I'm going to say something. If I went to Japan right now, which has like 98, 99% Japanese, and I said in 20 years, your politicians are going to drive your demographics of 98% down to 65%, they would hang those politicians right now. Why is it okay for societal, cultural, ethnic, demographic norms to be preserved in countries all across the globe, but America, we have to have death to the white population? We have to have a death to the black population? I see Kim Yater is on, and it's Thursday, and I'm going to need some hope because I'm running out of it. It's like I start going empty right at Thursday, and then Kim Yater comes on and gives me a little hope and optimism. But before I do, I want you to please go to our sponsors. And the first one I want to talk about is Pet Club 24/7. Pet Club 24/7. Go to truthwithjj247.com. You have to be ready to fight. And if you are sick, if you have inflammation in your body, if your immune system doesn't work, well, you're not going to be ready to fight. Go to truthwithjj247.com, truthwithjj247.com for you and your pets. Please play this commercial before I bring Kim Yater on. Welcome back. And Pet Club 24/7, I love that product. And so let's bring Kim Yater on, as I am running low on optimism and hope. Kim, how are you doing this week?
Hey, I'll tell you what, we need hope. And here's the thing, you know, what I love, JG, is you are bringing the truth so hardcore, so plain, no ribbon about it. We're not going to make it look pretty. We're going to tell you exactly what's happening and why it's happening, right? Now, here's the thing is we have all this information, right? And it's our eyes are opening, but then you begin to feel powerless because you're like, what the heck can I do? I'm one person and nothing is shifting around me. And when we're in that state of powerlessness, we cannot have hope. So here's what I say. I love that you're bringing the truth in. We bring that truth in and then we strategize and we come up with a solution. This is all about giving power back to we, the people. You know, when General Flynn says local, 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 we're talking hyper local. If we're going to take our power back, it starts right here, right? On that spiritual connection, then reaching out in your communities, bringing those communities together. And so I say that if we can do that and we can strategize a solution together, there are things we can do. We begin to feel hopeful, but if we sit in the pit of the problem without a strategy and a solution, we're rendered useless.
Well, I agree. And let's look at California, where you live and where I live for 24 years. And this has now become the focal point of this balkanization of America. You just had today, I believe the Department of Justice has sued the Orange County voter registrar because they refuse to remove illegal aliens from the rolls. I'm going to pull up an X post. Maybe Logan, you can show this. This is how out of control it is. Do you have it, Logan? Yeah, right there. This is from Mila Joy, her X account. 449,000 registered voters could not perform jury duty in California because they weren't citizens, but they were registered to vote. That's just what we know about Kim. Can you imagine when we clean California out of all of these illegal aliens and all their votes? They're saying that the right, the red, will gain at least minimum of 5 seats in our House. That's unbelievable. And the electoral college votes will leave California and they will be redistributed to other red states. This is the balkanization of America. But when I say it's the balkanization of America, do you agree or disagree that it was done intentionally, or do you think this is just happenstance over decades?
Oh gosh, no, 100%. This is done intentionally. We know it's the breakdown of this country. It's taking the power away from the people. But here's the deal. In California, we have worked hard on election integrity. And of course, we know California is jacked up. So what's the solution? You know, I was on the phone this morning with Dr. Douglas G. Frank, world-renowned physicist, exposes election fraud in 46 states. Doug has put teams of people together in counties and cities and states, all, you know, from coast to coast. And it's about strategy. I'm telling you right now, JJ, we fought to clean the voter rolls. Judicial Watch and EIPCA fought, and they fought LA, and LA cleaned up, they won. LA cleaned up the voter rolls, but guess what happened? Everybody ended up back on the voter roll. So we're going to go and clean up these illegal aliens. And guess what's going to happen? Plus the dead people, plus the people that are voting in other, you know, who live in other states who are voting in this state. We're going to go clean it up. But the way the system is set up is they are the ones in control. So they are the ones, the same people, putting those people back in the rolls. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work to where we think that the problem is going to be solved by cleaning up the voter rolls. Yes, we can continue to clean up the voter rolls, but that is not how we're going to win this. How we're going to win this is by giving power back to each county example. We've got charter counties right now, and I believe the number is 18 out of 54 charter counties in the state of California. When you look at Shasta, when you're looking at Huntington Beach, and you're seeing the needle move to where even Shasta, because they're a charter county, are going back to paper ballot. Charter counties give the people their power back to be in control of their election. This is where we've got to go hyper local. So we've got 18 locked in that are working towards this. Every single county, all 54 in the state of California, have the ability to move towards charter counties. And if they do that, JJ, that gives the power back to we the people, because now we control the elections, not the state, not the corrupt system. So if we can do that, we know what the problem is. And if we have a real solution like this, we'll see the needle move just like we did in Shasta and just like we're seeing in Huntington Beach. So are we powerless? Absolutely not. We've got to pull the teams together and strategize, and it absolutely can be done.
I believe it can be done. I believe it has to be done. It will not be done on a federal level. It will not be done on a state level. It needs to be county by county. You're absolutely right. So because let's say you get 40 counties that pull together, but now you're having to overcome San Francisco, Sacramento, and LA and San Diego. That's hard to overcome, like numbers wise. I want to show you a video before I ask you about some balkanization, but this goes hand in glove. These videos are going viral all over about California. California is a ghost town. And when you begin to understand, there's no one in the restaurants, no one walking the streets, there's no one on the street, there's no one anywhere, because illegal aliens are afraid or they've already been deported. This is going to have a dramatic impact on California. It's just about a 20-second video, but go ahead and play it. It gives you a great understanding, because this is not what California looks like. California looks like people, there's no space for anybody to drive. There's no space for anybody to walk. Right? Now watch this. This is just an average day now in California. Go ahead, Logan. That's good, Logan. Like Kim, the first thing that jumps out at me, there's no cars on the road. And in the old days, which was like 10 days ago, there would have been 10,000 cars on that road right there.
Yes.
There'd be no movement. And there's no one on the side. There's no one walking anywhere. This isn't 4 o'clock in the morning or right before everyone wakes up to go to work. People need to understand that in California, there is no dead time. Like there's no, I work midnight shift. You're on the highway at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's packed. There's cars going nonstop.
Yeah.
What do you make of this in California? And are you seeing this all the way down to where you live in Southern California?
Okay, that's a great question. So I think this is LA. I think the focus is LA, because right now in San Diego, the hubbub is everywhere. Life hasn't stopped because there's been no impact to what happened in LA to San Diego. Okay. So what we're seeing is because of the craziness that took place and, President Trump having to step in because Newsom was unwilling to do his job, it's left the people. I can't imagine I mean, it's got to be a little scary to leave your home. And we know that because of the ICE raids, these illegal immigrants they're hiding. They're not at the Home Depots. They're not going to the restaurants. They're not going to the fields. They're hiding because they're afraid they're going to get taken, right? So some businesses have had to shut down because they don't have the infrastructure to take care of the people because they were using the illegal immigrants, which is illegal for us to be using the illegal immigrants. So there's natural consequences to our choices. So what we're seeing in LA is what we can expect to be seeing in the cities, JJ. Where is the corruption? The deep corruption lies in the cities, in the state of California, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So we are just seeing, like what we're seeing with Los Angeles is a precursor to what we will be seeing in major cities across the United States. Now, I'm not predicting, I'm just sharing some intel that we've gotten, and many of us have heard it, that the cities will go down because they are so corrupt. This is where we're going to see the battle in the city. So let's say we gut and clean the corruption of LA. Maybe we'll start to have some elections where the people's voices are really heard. Maybe if we gut San Francisco, and I'm not saying there's a lot of good people everywhere, right? But the wickedness, the corruption, the structure that is set to destroy the country and keep we the people enslaved. You take it down by the root, and then you can rebuild. Because I'll tell you what, I don't care how hard we work, if we do not make a major shift, and I'm talking shake it all up, then we're going to continue to be enslaved. Now, can we take our power back on a local level? Local. It starts right here. What you can do with yourself, mind, body, and soul, what you can do with your family and your community, bring the people together, strategize. There is work to be done, and we can take our power back. But what we're seeing in LA, be prepared, people. And I say be prepared because we need to all be praying right now. We need to be praying that God's people are protected. Also, that we're willing to stand up. That's what it's going to take. We've got to stand up. I don't know what it's going to look like. LA's not done. They're getting ready for something. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. Well, all the big cities are the problem. The theme of this show, and I'd like to have your view on this. I believe America has become balkanized beyond any recognition, and I think it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse very quickly. What is your take on the balkanization of America?
Well, first of all, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to our forefathers. Let's go back to the Constitution. Let's go back to the foundation of God. Okay, so if they're going to destroy us, they're going to take away the foundation, right? Because if you look at the white American foundation, coming over from England, I mean, you had that foundation of Christianity. You had those values set in motion. And if you destroy the white man, you destroy their values. America is a melting pot now. We've lost. Now, is that a bad thing? Well, we've lost the foundation. We, the people, it's not even, JJ, that, we've let all these people over, and because we've let them all over, we've lost our foundation. We have not been responsible for keeping the foundation of godly values, leading by example, living in it when we call ourselves Christians, not being this fake Christian, not even knowing what that is, but truly living the Christian principles, right? So in a lot of ways, JJ, I am not a victim to what the globalists have done. I have given my power away. That's what I've done. And, I often say, I was so busy living the American dream. I was so busy buying the house, getting the cars, went to college, did all the things that good American citizens do, to create this American dream, having my babies, then another baby, and then pets, right? I was so busy building my business. I was riding on the coattails of my forefathers who died, for the freedom that I now have in this country. That is where I can personally take responsibility, because when I take responsibility back, it gives me my power back. I'm not a victim to the other side. So what can we do? What can we do with this balkanization that is taking place? We can begin by putting God back in his rightful place. And I'll tell you what, throughout Take Our Border Back, throughout Take Our Elections Back, we preach this from the mountaintops. In First Chronicles, if my people who are called by my name, the Lord says, will humble themselves, seek my face, pray, and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear their voice and heal their land. It needs to be a radical repentance, turning from relying upon ourselves. We've allowed this to happen, JJ. We've allowed it to happen on our watch. And by all means, what I can do is I can take responsibility, and I can begin to fight the fight right where I'm at right now, making sure I'm putting God back in the rightful place in my own life, in my relationship with him, right? In the relationship of those around me. And then I can fight like my forefathers fought. You said it a while ago, it's time to fight on all fronts to take our power back, whether it be our well-being and our county, city, and state well-being. We can fight, and it's going to happen when we put God back in his rightful place and we come together as a people, stop fighting one another, stop biting one another, stop devouring one another, get the pride out of the way, unify together. And every patriot that is listening right now, this is a call to action for you. I love you, my brothers and sisters. You've got to stop the inner fighting. A house that is divided will not stand. We will be taken down unless we unify, put God back in his rightful place, and get on the same page and strategize together and take our power back. Local, local, local.
You said something that really struck me, and I believe this. Because we've lost our foundation, you cannot continue to bring in people of different races and ethnicities and religion and then expect them to fall in line, because there's no line to fall into.
Whoa, well said.
What is the American dream? What is the American dream now? I don't know, right? As I'm getting older and I've already finished one career, starting another, and I'm looking around and I'm looking at all my other colleagues, people that are businessmen, very successful, and they're all saying the same thing. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Okay, what do you mean you're struggling? You have a bit. No, I'm struggling. Nothing's adding up anymore. Then I'm fighting the transgender movement in the schools. I'm fighting this. This person doesn't speak English. It's insanity. But when people, I know some people will watch this or cut up the clips and say, what a racist this person is. I'm making the statement, and I don't care how it sounds. You can't take a population and within a quarter of a century diminish it by 30% and then think the people that are in that percentage have to shut up and take it. So white population has decreased almost a third, from 87 to 88% down to 60, and decreasing every day. And I'm supposed to be okay with that. What if I took the black population and decreased them 1/3? And a black man would say, this is unacceptable. I would say, well, yeah, you're right. That is unacceptable. But that's what's happened to the black population as well, because we imported tens of millions of Latin American and Central American illegal aliens. This is insanity, and we are being balkanized. I want to show this video. Logan, I passed it up. It's going to be let me see. Cheering for their demise. If you can find that for me. This is the problem that I have, though, Kim. This is where my hope meter goes all the way to almost zero, because the people in our communities, that's it, Logan. The people in our communities are so grotesquely stupid. And I'm going to show you. These are the people in New York City that were cheering for a Muslim, extremist, jihadist, self-proclaimed jihadists and socialists. Watch these people in New York City cheer when they find out he won. Go ahead, Logan, play this, please. Kim, they are cheering for their demise. They're cheering for their demise. That's why I don't have much hope, Kim, because I believe my fellow man are grossly incompetent. They are willfully ignorant, and they're intellectually lazy. I believe that. What's your take on watching that?
Okay, first of all, this mayor, Zohran Mamdani, this is what he stands for: abolishing NYPD, abolishing prisons, abolishing medical bills, abolishing private health insurance, banning all guns, legalizing sex work, safe injection sites, ending cash bail, decriminalization, drug possession, ending sentencing enhancements, and it goes on. The people are asleep. The people, the question is, who are the people that are really cheering? Are these the people that have already been sold out to the Muslim agenda, right? We've been drinking the Kool-Aid. No one is willing to do the deeper pullback research. And this is why the Patriot movement, the freedom movement, has received so much. They've just been beat up because we're willing to do the research. We're willing to pull back the layers and to not just listen to somebody's voice who's getting everybody all charged up like they're taking their power back, which is a lie from the pit of hell, because that's not what he's doing. But the patriots and the freedom movement are willing to look at what the real truth is. Unfortunately, there is an agenda. Everybody that's there cheering, JJ, I don't believe that this is what the people really want. I believe those that have been drinking the Kool-Aid are thinking that this is actually going to bring them some type of freedom, right? But, this is an optic at the same time. Think about it. It's a media optic to make it look like this is what New York wants. I don't really think that this is what the real Americans want in New York. I think it's the agenda to take down New York.
No, you could be right. I just think it's spreading across America. We're balkanized. I think Islam is a powerful force that is destroying Europe, and it is here in America, and we will not, for whatever reason, I think we're just afraid to say it out loud, that they are a force to change America. Those are not my words. Those are their words. That's their agenda, and we are infidels, and we have to talk like 100%.
This. They want to take us down, JJ. That's the deal.
Yes.
Yeah, so they want to take us down.
Kim,
Yep.
No, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the things, you call me ma'am. That was great.
Because I'm from the South.
Just aged me. Okay, so that's awesome. What was I going to say? I just lost my thought. I just got caught up in the man. Let's just move forward.
I know. The Southern manners, they disarm women. That's why it's so useful. I teach my son that all the time. If you're just polite, son, people will just.
This is what I was going to say, JJ. So the illegal immigrants coming in right now, there are over 15 cells. Hamas, these are Middle Eastern cells. These are cells that are bent on destroying the United States. 15 clear cells in the United States. The illegal immigration has been feeding those cells. And let me tell you, when these illegal immigrants don't have a job, they're hiding, they don't have food, do you think they're not going to join in to these kinds of cells to get food, to get their family taken care of? There is a strategy behind the scenes here. So yes, does the Muslim nation want to take down the United States? That is the agenda. And what we're seeing in New York is clearly the beginning, and it is going to rise up in the other states. And what are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You're going to take your power back on a local level. You're going to get involved in your community. You're going to pull your teams together now. You're going to strategize. And if we do that together with a strategy that works, I'll tell you what, we will take the state back. We'll take our cities back, our counties back, but it's got to start with you standing up right where you're at.
Kim Yater gave me a little bit of hope, a little bit, but I thank you for your time. We don't have time to really talk about Patriots Made, but I want people to know that that Kim and I have partnered up on Patriots Made, and this is how you take your power back as well. Stop giving to Christy Walton of the Walton family to take our money that they profit from Walmart, and not just Walmart, the big box stores, the companies, to fund BLM, to fund No Kings Riots. Go to patriotsmade.com. Kim, I believe in this product. It's great. You have helped me get hundreds of my listeners on this program to be able to buy from American company for American products that are built for Americans. So Kim, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And Kim, only God knows what we're going to talk about next week. I mean,
seriously.
Who knows? Who knows? Okay, ma'am.
Awesome.
You have a good day.
Love you, JJ.
Okay?
Ma'am.
Bye-bye. That's Kim Yater. She's awesome. She has helped me with a sponsor that I love, patriotsmade.com. Take your power back. Buy products made in America for Americans. Go to patriotsmade.com/JJ. Kim Yater. And also follow Kim Yater at takeyourpowerbackshow.com. And I have met Kim in person. I talk to her quite often. That energy, that level of energy that she has, that optimism, that positivity, that's real. She's like that all the time. Just a wonderful, positive, Christian, loving woman, wife, and mother. Just a great person. I can't say enough great things about Kim Yater. I want to stay on the balkanization of America because I believe this topic I think it's the most important. And as I say on this show quite often, the dots are always connected. Things are not happening in America in a vacuum. The economy's tied to the open borders tied to security. Security's tied to, or the lack of security is tied to the lack of law and order, which diminishes our freedoms and opportunities. The sexual perversion, the takeover, the moral decay, the purposeful restructuring of our cultural norms is not on accident. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. The balkanization of America does not happen in a vacuum. Why is there a balkanization of America? Why would, if you were in charge, just think of this from a personal level. You became president, or you became a state representative, or you became a federal congressperson. Why would you vote to bring in millions of people into your country illegally? Why would you encourage English as a second language? Why would you encourage people to come to America that hate America? Why would you do it? This is an honest and valid question. If you have any integrity, any intellectual integrity, you know that you would never do that. So why would they being the other American leaders, bring in people that hate America and balkanize America by race, ethnicity, language, religion, sexuality? Why would you want to balkanize America? Because you want to change her. And how do you change something? You have to bring it down to the basic foundation in order to change it. If you have a rotten home filled with termites, wood damage, do you just replace one wall? Or do you replace the whole house? Well, how do you have to get that? Do you just take the roof off? No, you have to tear the house down all the way down to its foundation. And that's what the left, the Democrats, with the help of the Republicans, want to what? Quote, fundamentally transform America. Well, how do you do that? Well, you have to bring the house down. And that's what's happening. Let's start with one way to balkanize, and that's race. Let's listen to, and this is 2 minutes long, but I just would like Logan to stop it at the 1 minute mark. This is former Congressman from Georgia, I believe it is, Jamal Bowman, talking about race in how whites continue to suppress blacks. This has a profound impact on our culture today, and it's growing every moment. Go ahead and play this for me, Logan, please.
This is America.
Catholic
and
pro-life
the problem is
bombed.
we are not dealing with America's original sin and its disease of hate and racism towards black and brown people and sexism towards women and anti-LGBTQ sentiment. We are not dealing with that. Your colleagues in the Republican Party do not hold each other accountable when it comes to the racism that comes from the party on a consistent basis.
Congressman, I mean, where are you on?
You can't be calm about this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment.
Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If your colleagues would listen and try to learn and engage and grow and stop being so hateful, we could have a better country.
Jamal.
But unfortunately,
this isn't some one-off guy. This is not some CNN contributor from wherever think tank. This was a former congressman that lost last election, 2-time, 3-time congressman, telling you, white people, talking directly to the white man in white America, you're responsible for the 80% obesity rate in black women. You're responsible for the cancer rates. You're responsible for all the healthcare problems in America. You are. How do you label a race responsible for the medical issues in your community? How do you do that? It would be different if Mr. Bowman said, hey, 2% of your population, the white population, is killing 50% of Americans and indirectly impacting black Americans. You're killing black Americans, just 2% of your white population. Well, no, actually, that's not true. It's 2% of your black population, Bowman, is killing 50% of Americans in murder. You see the absurdity? You see how the race plays into everything? You see how the mindset, are you telling me that that's the only congressperson in the Democrats that think this way? Well, God, no, because we left Mr. Bowman and we got Jasmine Crockett. Now watch this. This is not even English that she's speaking. And listen to her cursing and using, let's just be frank and honest, because that's what I am. She is speaking ghetto talk. No one speaks like this outside the inner city. Go ahead and play Miss Crockett. She's a wonderful woman.
You just voted to do it.
So
you just voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do. So I'm trying to get clarification.
Crockett, you're not recognized. Miss Crockett.
I can't hear you with your yelling.
You don't want
calm
me
down.
No,
can you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk noise, and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I come and talk shit about her, y'all gonna have a problem.
Mr. Chairman.
Chair, okay.
The only thing missing there is her snapping her fingers. That's it, honestly. Snapping her fingers and then walking over there and getting into a fight where they pull each other's wigs off. That's all that was missing in the House of Congress. She's a stone cold racist. Stone cold racist. How else are they balkanizing us? Here's a video, which they're not doing anymore because they're being arrested and they're scared to death. But this was happening across America before we began the ICE raids. Flying foreign nations' flags, Mexican flags, in construction sites across America, flaunting that they're taking over. When you put a foreign flag in the ground of another country, you are saying that I own it, I seized it, and I've taken it over. This is what is happening in America. Play this, Logan, please. You don't think we have a problem? You don't think we have a balkanization problem in America? You can call me whatever you want. Stupid's not one of them. Being a coward's not another. I'm just pointing it out. You can ignore it all you want. Let's look at Palestinian flag in New Jersey. Let's watch this beautiful clip. Even better, how about a Hamas flag in New York City? I'm sure the new potential mayor would absolutely love this. Hamas flag in New York City. Play this, please. Feel safe, America? Feel good? I could play video after video after video for hours. You better be prepared. You better wake up. You better have the necessary tools to communicate. Because if you don't think that we're in a war for the soul of America on every front, I don't know what else to tell you. I have a product that I promote on my show, and I believe in it. And that's sat123.com. Sat123.com/JJ. Get a sat phone. You get it for free, up to $1,000, $2,000 sat phone. When you get a subscription, you need to be prepared. My son goes to school with a backpack that has a ballistic shield in it. My wife and I carry a black backpack that has a ballistic shield in it. Nobody knows any difference. You need to be prepared. Go to sat123.com/JJ. I know this is a hard topic. Hell, I know that every topic that we hit on here is a hard topic. I know it is. When you talk about race and ethnicity, I know it's hard. When you talk about Hezbollah cells and Hamas cells and this Muslim mayor is trying, this is not, I'm not telling you anything that they have not said ad nauseum. I know that the instinctual reaction is, oh, he's a white guy. Oh, he's saying that he's a racist. You know what? Everything that I said today and I've said on all my shows, that I'm actually taking their words, the leaders of those organizations, their words, and just telling them in my way of articulating. They've stated this openly. They've stated they want to change America. They stated that they want to take over America. They have stated that they want to fly their flags all over America. That's how balkanized we are. That is how America is now. If you think this is just happening on the outer rims of America, you're a fool. This is happening and blending all the way into America. America, wake up. We're losing our country. And that is simply the truth.
Welcome to Technoxy News with your host, Patrick Wood. I'm your co-host, Logan House. Today, we're going to be going over, we have 250 million acre bonanza.